Alright, hey guys, what's going on? It's Intelligent Psycho back here with more of like an out of theater reaction slash review, and I just got done seeing Marvel's latest but newest I believe it's phase 6 film in the franchise, and we're going to talk about the Fantastic Four First Steps. So this is directed by Matt Shakman. I'll talk about him in a minute, but we're starring, of course, Joseph Quinn, Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Ralph Ineson, um, Ben Moss Bobarack, Julia Garner, and we see that Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch, The Thing, and of course Sue Storm, they come out and they face their most battle tested. They face their work they get their work cut out, and they face their most battle tested competitive foe yet, as they battle on a rare Earth 828, as they battle Galactus and the Silver Surfer. Going into this movie, I had little to really no expectations really with it, because again, being so disappointed with the last three Fantastic Four installments, I'm thinking like, Marvel, can they really get this one around? And with during the last 5 years of Marvel's latest properties, whether it be for the films or the shows, they've been pretty much hit or miss. And like any other franchise, they've really been, like many other properties in the comic book realm, whether it be for Marvel or DC, they've been pretty much regularly hit or miss. And for me, I was just with so little to less expectation, because I was like, man, can they really knock this one out of the park? Can they really get it going? And for me, this one is really, they really want you to care and really want you to focus on the main Fantastic Four. And I really think they did a fantastic job with the way they portrayed this version, this iteration, new iteration of the Fantastic Four. I'll tell you why. Number one, they showed you all their powers and what they can do. Showed you what Mr. Fantastic could do. It showed you what Vanessa Kirby and Sue Storm could do. They showed you what the Thing, his powers, and what he could do, and how his ability to crush buildings and crush things all around him. Shows you what Joseph Quinn's, his iteration of Johnny Storm. I really like his way of how he absorbs fire and lightning, how he absorbs fire and how he absorbs it, and how he just masterfully composes it and really uses it to his advantage. And the look of it is really, really solid as well. I really like the way they did their cast. It really did the way that they did their performance, and how they did and how they executed their powers, and how they executed, battling Galactus and of course the Silver Surfer, or Shalabal, played by Julia Garner. And the main thing going into this film, I'm wondering like how the visuals gonna be like, how the visuals, and how is the runtime, and pretty much how is the narrative really gonna work? Are they really gonna exercise the rights to really bring forth all these characters that we love from the Fantastic Four issues? How is the character, as we already had an indication of Sue Storm being pregnant and with their baby named Franklin, and I wondered how Franklin and their son, Mr. Fantastic, and of course Sue Storm, their son, how their iteration of his as his role as a child is gonna really intertwine. And I know they're bringing it more so forward into the film, and I really do like the way that they kind of mainly did that hint and mainly did that iteration of him. I thought that was really nice. I really do like the visuals in here. It showed one of the visuals, how, especially where they going up in this, especially when they went up into space and found out and saw Galactus and the Silver Surfer. I thought that was a really, really well done, and really, really well good shot, a really good encapsulated look on what that other side of that Earth, and what the other side in space what it could possibly look like, and what it could possibly be, that outcome. And I really love the way and dug the way of the shots and the visuals in that setting. I really like the visuals in the setting of Earth 8218. I really thought that the visuals, seeing them, was just really, really compelling and really, really composed. It really just it's center focus, and it really is giving you everything what you can about these about just everything that it's just everything that the VFX effects are going for it in this film. You know, because going from the last phases 4 and 5, just the looks and the visuals of it, you know, from the last Marvel MCU movies, as far as the visuals goes, it's been pretty spotty. It's been pretty terrible. It ain't really been looking so good. But this one is definitely one of the better visual looking films I've seen in quite some time. Another thing that was a really major plus uh, to me is Matt Shakman, and I knew Matt Shakman. I knew he was gonna be on this latest project because of what he did with WandaVision, and of course what he did with a couple of really good shows that had been out. Of course, Succession, which I finally did get a chance to see that, and of course, one of my all-time favorite TV shows in Game of Thrones. Uh, he was responsible for that as well, and he did a really good job with it. So I figured like he was gonna come back for another big property, and he definitely came back, and he came through with a blaze with as far as the direction, as far as knowing what these characters powers are, the power scaling, and how he used them right and used them in appropriate ways. So definitely that is a huge plus uh, from the direction side and from Matt Shakman, knowing what he could use and where he could land and where he could put these characters in placements and spots at. So definitely that was a big mark. Um, the negatives I will say is getting to that side, the cons. I was not a huge fan of. I wasn't really a huge fan of the narrative and not showing enough of Galactus in the second act and third act of the film. They showed him, but I feel like they kind of pulled the backstory of him and pulled his story as they show him a lot, but then they didn't really show him a lot at all. They really kind of just peeled back the layers, but they didn't peel enough layers back on his character. And I really love the performance that Julia Garner gave us, Shala Ball, Silver Surfer. I thought she really had a phenomenal performance, but I would have loved the scene if they would have gave more love and kudos to like other villains and other rivals in the comics. I would have loved the scene like I think Hal Jordan or something. I would have loved the scene they would have done something with that character. Not to say Julia Garner's performance was bad or anything. I just think that we've seen too many narratives and iterations of Silver Surfer in the past, and in the past live action films. I feel like we could have done something a little bit more with exercising more of the comics of the Fantastic Four that could have gone with a different main villain, the main bad guy, competitive foe. So that would be the main thing I would say is redundant character villain character iterations, and to me not enough showing of this. Even though what they did show him, he was menacing as hell. He was absolutely what everybody said, and like I said, he was the most powerful being throughout all of the Marvel comics and any Marvel comic issues. He was one of the most powerful one, if not the most powerful one. And that was really what gave me a sign of hope and a sign of belief that this film was gonna really do. And they did him right, but I just could have used him a little bit more in there. So that would be, I would say, is a negative and a con. And pretty much the story, the narrative, felt a little bit too plain and generic at times, and it felt redundant and regurgitated because we've seen many iterations of this same more the heroes conquering the villains, like what we saw in the phase 1. We've seen this story done plenty of times, so it's not relatively new or anything as creative, but at the same time, the entertainment factor to me, and mainly gave us what they care about with the Fantastic Force, what really they want us to drive home the Force. So I really feel like they did a solid job with that. So getting all the negatives out of the way, my biggest summary for the Fantastic Four first steps is we have a absolutely rag shag team with really good ways of exposing and showcasing their power scaling and showcasing what they could do to help out Earth 828, and showing that their evolvement and their, chemistry, their back and forth between Ben and the Thing, or Ben the Thing, and of course Johnny Storm, their chemistry really was on point. And the chemistry between Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm was absolutely on point. Really, really on-screen chemistry from everybody that really gave me something of window of hope for where the MCU can go forth in the next phases and into the future. So I really do think that this film will be stand out in a lot of the most recent Marvel phases from 5, 6, 4, 5, and 6 all the way up and forward. So I cannot wait to see what they're gonna do next with these characters, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with more movies. So there needs to be more movies based upon these ones. So rating so far out of my head, I'm leaning more towards just a solid 4 out of 5. I'll give it a solid 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10 right now. So far, that's just my rating, right? Well, how I'm feeling right now. It can go up and it can go down. I don't see this film going, my rating for this one going down. It can only go up from there. So that's just my thoughts so far, my out of theater reaction. So tell me what you guys think about the Fantastic Four first steps. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And give me your thoughts. Where would you rank this in the latest movies? And if you think that this is the best iteration of what we're gonna get from them, and if not, tell me what you guys will rank all the Fantastic Four movies from worst to best. And also give me your thoughts about what is your favorite characters of the Fantastic Four comics, and also let me ask this question. And give me your MCU ranking list. Give me your guys' MCU ranking list, and where would you rank this in the MCU movies? Since it's pretty much at least around like 37, 38 movies right now. Where would you rank this in the MCU movies? So let me know down all of those questions and all those thoughts down in the comment section down there, and also in the live chat if you guys are watching. So uh, let me know what you guys think. And I am gonna be out of here. I want to thank you guys for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, and I will see y'all later. Peace out. Thank you.